So instead of exploring the great city of Denver, which I'm only here for today, I've been sitting in my Airbnb all morning, which is not the best way to travel, so I'm gonna go try to change that. So there are a lot of really amazing things to do in Denver. I could go hiking, I could go to the art museum, I could explore downtown Denver, but instead of doing all those things, I'm gonna go to Colorado Film School. Now, the school isn't actually open in the summer, so I'm just gonna walk around the campus a bit. And there's no real reason to do it other than just the nostalgia of it, but I feel like I need to do this. Why I feel like I need to do this? I don't know. It's just, I don't know when I'm gonna be back in Denver again, and part of me just, maybe it's indulgence, I don't know, but I just have to do it. Behind me is the only school I've ever wanted to go to. I've been pretty critical of college before because I think it's a giant waste of money and time, but I did it because it made my parents happy. Going here, this always made me happy. It was the happiest I'd ever been in a job, in school, at any time. And there it is. Right here is where I shot the first film I ever made. I mean, I made films when I was little, but like the first official short little student film was made right here in this field. You know, it's been 4 years since I've been here. And honest to God, I probably couldn't tell you what I had for lunch or dinner or breakfast yesterday. And yet I can remember every shot I did out here. I can remember the wides, I can remember the films I did, I can remember the scripts. Why that's the thing I remember out of everything, I don't know. But I do. I snuck my way into the building. I mean, it was open, I didn't sneak in, and I even talked to someone, but I'm now in the building, and this is the room that I had my only acting class in. I was a terrible, terrible actor, but it all happened right here. So if you look behind me here, you'll see an exit that says not an exit, which you would think, oh, okay. But then you kind of, there's a railing under there. Who thinks that's an exit? Like who? I think the railing was there before the sign. I never understood that, or where the door actually went to. I still don't know, and I guess I never will. I am currently in the lobby lounge area. When I was in film school here, it was pretty much just crappy, cheap furniture and this little tiny TV. But if you can look now, they have this fancy TV and all this fancy furniture. It looks like CFS has come into some money, which really glad about. I miss it. I miss film school a lot, but it really wouldn't make any sense to go back now. So was there any reason for me to go and look around the film school and in the film school? No, not really. I couldn't even get into any of the rooms. It was mostly, well, entirely self-indulgent, and I don't know. I mean, I know my time at Denver was hard because I was alone. My parents weren't here. My family wasn't here. Emily wasn't here. It was just me. I had very little money. And maybe I'm just thinking back on something that was a lot harder than it actually was. And I'm just remembering the good moments. It's just, there's something about that I miss. The kind of working 16-hour days and eating nothing but chicken and rice for weeks on end and living in this little tiny apartment an hour away from school. There's something about the grind that I don't have anymore. Or if I do have it, it's something else. I just miss it. I am currently at City Park. It's probably the biggest park in Denver and only a block away from my Airbnb. The zoo's here, there's a museum here, there's this giant pond. I don't know if I would necessarily call it a lake, but it's It's very pretty. I shot a lot of my films right here, so it's nice to be back and to walk around and just live in the moment a bit. Now what you see before you might look like a regular wall. Well, that's because it is a regular wall. It's just a wall. But on top of being a wall, it does have one secondary purpose. You see, when I was in film school, we had 3 big projects, 3 short films we had to shoot. The first one was a documentary, the second one was a silent, and the last one was our final. We spent a month and a half preparing for it, writing it, directing it, editing, the whole thing. And this is the very location where I shot that film. Now, it's only 5 minutes. I'll tag it below in the descriptions, probably, or I'll forget. Could happen, might not happen. But this is it. This is the place. And I don't know. It's just nice to be here, I guess. Now, despite what today's events may suggest, I'm not a very nostalgic person. I don't really care much about things. When it comes to almost anything, I don't care. It's partly because my memory sucks and I have the vlog, which is enough. But at the time, I didn't have the vlog, I didn't use social media, so the only thing I have from that time are my memories and the memories of my friends. And even though I can watch the film 100 times, I can text my friends or call my friends, there's nothing quite like being back here. And it's just weird because I'm looking at the script for the future film I'm making while standing in the place where I made my last real short film. I know I keep saying this, but it's so surreal. I'm not used to it. I'm only 24. I'm not supposed to have nostalgia. I'm not supposed to wish for younger days. And I don't really. I like my life. I'm very happy with my life. It's just nice to sit here and just be here, I guess. So if you look behind me, you'll see a gaggle of geese. For some reason, they've been following me around this whole park. When I was on the opposite side of the park, they were over there. And I was on that side of the park, they were there. And I'm in this side of the park, they're over here. It could just be a coincidence and they're just swimming in circles, but I don't know, they have a look in their eyes. It's very disturbing. So I openly admit that I was being a little facetious before, but they're really close. I don't like it. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know why they're traveling in a gaggle. But if you just look at them, they have a look in their eyes that says, I don't know. I don't like it. It's a lot of geese. And only one me. I'm very concerned. Actually, this one right here, look, he's looking right at me. Look at him. He's just looking at me. He's giving me the eye. And there he goes. Just walking away. I'm not a fan of this. At all. Nope, can't do it. I sat there and I thought the geese will just walk away. That's what geese do. They just go and handle their own thing. I mean, that's what geese do in Indiana. But they just coming around and around and around the bench, and they were getting closer, and I didn't like it, so I left. Where I'm gonna go now, I don't know. Are the geese gonna follow me? Probably. Are they on some secret mission to kill me? Most likely. But I'm just gonna keep running. I am at Sprouts. It's basically Fresh Time, but for the West. I just came to get chicken because it's within walking distance. It's cheaper at Costco, but I didn't want to drive anywhere. This is probably fine. Plus, eating out's too expensive, so yay for savings. So I should probably be doing some sort of work, whether it's working on the film or working on the podcast or the vlog, or even schoolwork, which is why I brought this book. But I think I'm just gonna walk around Denver for a bit. I don't want to do work. I mean, I should, but I don't want to. So I don't think I'm going to. You know, I know that it says it's not a cursed object, but it kind of feels like when you have to say it's not a cursed object, doesn't that kind of mean it is a cursed object? I mean, I guess like if something's not cursed, you would say it's not cursed, but then the very act of saying it's not cursed makes it feel cursed. Now, how a bookcase, it's basically trash, could be haunted or cursed, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely not going to take it. So during the short spell that I lived in New York City, I walked basically everywhere. I had a ton of free time because I only had class like 2 hours a day, and I didn't have a job, so I had pretty much 12 to 14 hours a day to not do much of anything, and I didn't have any responsibilities at the time either. So I would just walk for miles and miles and miles and miles. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I think it's the best way to really find a city, explore it. I mean, I guess I could run, but that sounds like a lot of work. But, Denver's a pretty nice place. When I first left Colorado, I actually left because I dropped out of film school. I had decided that after 6 months of film school, I didn't need any more. I was going to go off and work in the real world. That didn't work out so well, and ever since that, for the last 4 years, there's been a lot of regret and a lot of pain for no real good reason. And I thought if I just came back here to Colorado, everything would be better. I could make movies, I could come back to meet my friends, and even go back to film school. But for one reason or another, that never happened. And now that I'm here 4 years later, I know that that's not the case. That it was never really about Colorado. It wasn't even really about film school. It was mostly just about putting in the work. And the thing is it's sort of happening now. The thing that I've always wanted, the one thing that I've always wanted, is finally maybe gonna happen. But coming back here taught me that it's not about here. It's not about this. It's about the work. It's about making movies. And I'm doing that. And I think if I didn't come back here now, and if I didn't do it alone, I think there would always been part of me that would have wondered and would have kind of ate away at me. So this has been a very therapeutic trip, going to the film school, going to old locations just to shoot, to remind me where I was, where I am, and what that difference is. And I think I'm okay now. If I never come back to Denver, I'll be okay. Now I want to, but it doesn't have to be Denver anymore. I can just be happy, or at least try to be.